Good day everyone, this video will help you to understand furthermore about the Rizal Law and how does it works and why is it important. First, let us have a little recap on who is Dr. Jose Rizal.
A short biography of Jose Rizal. Jose Protasio Rizal Mercado Alonso Rialonda was a Filipino nationalist, writer, and polymath active at the end of the Spanish colonial period of the Philippines. He is considered the national hero of the Philippines. His nicknames are Dr. Jose Rizal, Josepe Rizal, and Pepe. He was born on June 19, 1861 at Calamba and died on December 30, 1896 at Manila. His family background. His father was named Francisco Rizal Mercado and his mother Teodora Alonso Rialonda. His wife's name is Josephine Bracken and siblings Pasiano Rizal, Josefa Mercado, Saturnina Hidalgo, Soledad Mercado, Maria Mercado, Lucia Mercado, Concepcion Mercado, Olympia Mercado, Narcisa Mercado, and Trinidad Mercado. Jose Rizal is the seventh child of his parents. Jose Rizal's educational background. His primary school is at Biñan, Laguna. Secondary school is at Ateneo de Manila University. Tertiary school, University of Santo Tomas, University of Santo Tomas Faculty of Medicine and Surgery, and his education abroad, Heidelberg University, Complutense University of Madrid, and University of Paris. Some of his writings are To the Filipino Youth, Goodbye to Leonor, To the Young Women of Malolos, Kundiman, John to Alpasig, No Le Tangere, El Filibusterismo, and Mi Ultimo Adios.
And now, what is Rizal Law? The Rizal Law is about implementing rules to educate the students about the life, works, and writings of our national hero, Dr. Jose Rizal, especially his novel No Le Tangere and El Filibusterismo. This is to give students in the future generation an ample background and for them to understand about how our dear Jose Rizal hands over his life for our country and how his works plays a big role in our life.
Hello everyone, this is Rika Angela Mariano, and for this video we will talk about the history of passing the Rizal Bill into Rizal Law. But first, let's differentiate bill from law. When we say bill, it is a proposed law that may or may not be passed and approved by the Congress, while law, it has already been passed and implemented. So the Senate Bill 438, or also known as the Rizal Bill, is a bill that requires the inclusion of the life, works, and writings of Jose Rizal in the curricula of all private and public schools, colleges, and universities, particularly the readings of the two novels which are entitled No Le Tangere and El Filibusterismo. When it comes to the proposal of the Rizal Bill, the first proponent of this bill was Senator Claro M. Recto, and when the bill was brought to the Senate, there's this one senator who sponsored the bill, and this was Senator Jose B. Laurel Sr., and these two senators were known for having great sense of nationalism. But unfortunately, when the two senators pushed the passage of the Rizal Bill, it caused conflicts and exchange of arguments from the Congress. Rizal Bill was even considered as the most controversial bill in the Philippines because during the process, it was not a smooth sailing process since there are so many people who showed their strong disapproval especially people in the legislative arm and the Catholic Church. Because according to them, it was depicted in the writings of Jose Rizal that Catholic dogmas are humiliated, and they view this bill as an attempt to discredit the Catholic religion. And due to this disapproval, they even came to the point wherein Catholic schools threatened to stop their operations if the bill was passed into law. Another reason why Rizal Bill had so many oppositors, people during that time argued that among the 333 pages of Noli Me Tangere, only 25 are nationalistic and 120 are anti-Catholics. As a result of this matter, oppositors suggested that instead of reading the novels, they suggested reading materials for students, which is the Rizalian anthology. But despite of all the strong disapproval from people and the Catholic Church, Senator Recto and Senator Laurel still continue to push and defend the passing of the bill. And fortunately, there are so many senators and representatives from the House who also defended the bill. That is why, during May 17, 1956, the bill was passed, and during June 12, 1956, the bill was signed by the President into Republic Act. And now, let's further know what is Republic Act 1425 all about, and that will be presented by Mr. Mark Dave.
Hi, my name is Martin Sefresa and I'm going to discuss about Republic Act number 1425. Republic Act number 1425, an act to include in the curricula of all public and private schools, colleges and universities, courses on the life, work, and writing of Jose Rizal, particularly his Novel Noli Me Tangere and El Filibusterismo, authorizing and the printing and distribution thereof, and for other purposes. First of all, we should know that this Republic Act number 1425 is not to disintegrate or destroy a Roman Catholic religion, if not to value the achievement of a hero in our country. Whereas today, more than any other period of our history, there is a need for rededication to the ideals of freedom and nationalism, for which our heroes lives and died. Whereas it is meet that honoring them, particularly the national hero and patriot Jose Rizal, we remember with special fondness and devotion their lives and works that have shaped the national characters. Whereas the life, work, and writing of Jose Rizal, particularly his novel Noli Me Tangere and El Filibusterismo, are a constant and inspiring source of patriotism with which minds and of the youth, especially during the formative and decisive years, and the school should be supposed, whereas all educational institutions are under the supervision of and subject to regulation by the state, and all subjects are enjoined to develop moral characters, personal discipline, civic conscience, and to teach the duties of citizenship now. Therefore,
Section 1. Courses on the life, works, and writings of Jose Rizal, particularly his novel Noli Me Tangere and El Filibusterismo, shall be included in the curricula of all school, colleges, and universities, public or private. The Board of National Education is hereby authorized and directed to adopt forthwith measures to implement and carry out the provisions of this section. The Board shall within 60 days from the effectivity of this Act promulgate rules and regulations, including those of a disciplinary nature, to carry out and enforce the provisions of this Act. The Board shall promulgate rules and regulations providing for the exemption of students for reasons of religious belief stated in a sworn written statement. Section 2. It shall be obligatory on all schools, colleges, and universities to keep in their libraries an adequate number of copies of the original and unexpurgated editions of No Limitang Hire and El Filibusterismo, as well as of Rizal's other works and biography. Section 3. The Board of National Education shall cause the translation of the No Limitang Hire and El Filibusterismo, as well as other writings of Jose Rizal into English, Tagalog, and the principal Philippine dialect. Cause them to be printed in cheap, popular editions, and cause them to be distributed free to charge to persons desiring to read them and through the Purok organizations and Barrio Council throughout the country. Section 4. Nothing in this Act shall be construed as amendment of repealing Section 927 of the Administrative Code, prohibiting the discussion of religious doctrines by public school teachers and other persons engaged in any public school. Section 5. The sum of 300,000 pesos is hereby authorized to be appropriated out of any fund not otherwise appropriated in the National Treasury to carry out the purposes of this Act. Section 6. This Act shall take effect upon its approval.
So for today, my topic is all about the importance of Rizal Law. According to Jose Rizal, the Rizal Law, also known as Republic Act No. 1425, is an act to include in the curricula of all public and private schools, college and universities courses on the life works and writings of Jose Rizal, particularly his novels No Limitang Hire and El Filibusterismo, authorizing the printing and distribution thereof and for other purposes. Okay, the importance of Republic Act No. 1425. It is to honor the heroes of our nation, mainly Jose Rizal, because they give their life to this country and for us, and that cannot be surmounted by any monetary value. We, the newer generations, knew only the basic information of Rizal, but if we give ample time to consider his works and accomplishments, we will make inspiration from him. His love for his countrymen is greater than his love of himself. Thus, he devoted almost all of his life for the freedom and justice of the Filipino people. The Philippine educational system has included the life, works, and teaching of Jose Rizal to instill to the youth the importance of freedom and nationalism that we had already given. Because of the sacrifice of our heroes, through the efforts of our national hero, we are also to develop moral character, personal discipline, civic conscience, and to teach the duties of citizenship by applying this in our daily lives. The values that we Filipinos that has been instilled to us may be passed on the next generation for the betterment of our country. At the end of the day, we are Filipinos that must be proud of the selflessness of our national hero, Jose Rizal, for bringing us up to this moment. The people he inspired despite his short-lived life that awakened the burning desire of freedom from our captives, and up to this day, the torch of freedom has passed on, for we the Filipino people honor those who are fallen. And lastly, the positive effect of Rizal Law. According to Hernan Abaya, 1984, the nationalist reawakening began on the UP campus, sparked by the teaching of Rizal life and his writings made compulsory by the Noli Feli Law,
co-authored by Recto and Laurel. This is a statement from a person who was able to witness the condition of the country before and after the Rizal Law was implemented. He saw the change and the positive effect of the law to our country back then. And that's all. Thank you for listening.
Significance of Republic Act number 1425. It provides insight on how to deal with current problems. It helps to understand better ourselves as Filipinos. It teaches nationalism. It provides various essential life lessons, and it serves as a worthwhile inspiration to every Filipinos. Because most of our problems are sometimes based on our duty as Filipinos, so that we are not fooled and deceived by foreigners. This is an important knowledge to improve and strengthen our stand in our country, especially now that the land grab or conquest of other countries is rampant. The accusation of knowledge of what our rights and ownership as Filipinos are a strong weapon so that we are not fooled, and we will also learn to fight the one who oppresses us. Republic Act number 1425, Rizal Law. O.C.P. Rowler, father of Rizal Law, Senate Bill 448, hoped to give people knowledge about the oppression suffered by the Filipinos during the Spanish era. For Filipinos to understand themselves and their country better and realize the greatness of Rizal. Sent Dico Rosso Rosales, Senator Mario Cuenco, Frances Socrodrego argued that it will be a violation of religious freedom. Republic Act number 1425 is an act to include in a curricula of all public and private schools, colleges, and university courses on life, work, and writing of Dr. Jose Rizal. There is a need, almost importance to the ideas of freedom, nationalism, patriotism, truth, and understanding of work of life of Jose Rizal. What the law imposes. The inclusion in the curricula studies on the life and work of Jose Rizal, reading of the unexpurgated version of No Limitang Here and El Pulubis Turismo. School should have accurate copies of Rizal work. The law authorizes the translation of Noli and Fili, while the teaching of Rizal as a subject is required. The doctrine of separation of the church and state is upheld. Beside the duty of everyone to seek his perfection, there is every man in innate desire to cultivate his intelligence by Dr. Jose Rizal. Opponent of the law: Rufeno Cardinal Santos, Senator Lorenzo Tanada, Senator Quentin Paredes, Senator Francisco Socrodrego, Senator Dicoroso Rosales, Roman Catholic Church. Reasons for opposition. Rizal noble are anti-Catholic. Rizal is a Freemason. Membership in a Freemasonry constitute an automatic excommunication from the Roman Catholic Church, compelling Catholics to read Rizal's novel in its unexpurgated version, teach heresy, and violate their freedom and conscience. The Catholic hierarchy wants the expurgated version to be top in class, while the unexpurgated version shall be locked away in school libraries.
Exploring the life and works of Rizal would give you a better vision of what is it like during the Spanish era and how Filipino deal with it. Plus, studying Dr. Jose Rizal work will not make you totally against the government. Instead, it could get you interested in the current national issues, since alam mo na or you know how our national heroes fought for our freedom that we have today. Lastly, when you're studying in the Philippines, you can't actually escape from it because it is a law. So let us just enjoy the wonders of the life and works of Rizal. And that would be all. Thank you.